I'd like you to join me in welcoming our guest today, Katie Weaver. Katie is my colleague who does all kinds of things at Learning English, but one of the things she's been doing lately is the Newswords program. And there you can watch a video to learn about one of the words that's being used frequently in our news stories. So what have you got for us today, Katie?
Well, today I think we're going to look at a few. Hopefully we'll get 3 news words in, but if not, maybe just 2.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords.
A coronavirus outbreak in Fiji is stretching the health system and hurting the country's economy. Evaporate.
A vaccination campaign has started, but officials are resisting calls for a lockdown out of fear for the Fijian economy. It shrank almost 20% last year when visits from travelers evaporated because of COVID travel bans.
In science, when something evaporates, it dries, turning from a liquid into an unseeable gas.
But English speakers also use the word to mean disappear or dry up suddenly.
Okay, so our word has another word hidden inside of it. Let's see if you can find the hidden word. Can you all see the board?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. I can see the whole word there.
Oh, move back. There we go. Right.
Evaporate.
So, evaporate. So, Katie, tell us about this word.
Well, it's originally from the Latin, and there is a hidden word in it that I think helps you understand what it means. Does anyone see the other word that's in evaporate? There are actually 2 words, but.
Oh,
vapor.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Vapor.
Though interestingly, because
Helen
the
says,
E is not in front, we call it vapor. We do the long A, vapor. Does anyone have a guess about what vapor means?
Maybe absorb something out from something. Absorb something from something out.
That's very good. That's for the whole word. Yes. But does someone know what vapor means?
Maybe disappear sometimes.
No, when you are hitting the water, that I don't know how to say. The vapor is the one is.
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it. Sorry.
When we are boiling with water, right?
What you mean by that? Yes.
Exactly.
It's water vapor. It means gas, a gas.
Yes, yeah.
And the other word I was going to say that is also in the story is rate, R-A-T-E, but that's not as important. That's just sort of by chance.
Okay.
But so evaporate.
So the word that you were looking for, Alfredo, I think is steam.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Another
We see steam when water is evaporating.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Here's the little pot of water, and there's
the
a pot of water
is boiling off and going from a liquid to a vapor, to an unseeable gas. Mm-hmm. That is exactly it. So we don't only use it in science, as we pointed out in the video. It's also used more figuratively to mean disappear, dry up, go away. So that is the meaning of evaporate. For instance, I'm supposed to go on an overseas trip in August, but because of increasing restrictions, my dream of that trip may evaporate. In other words, I may not be able to go. We'll see. So that's evaporate. And there's another word that's interesting that can be used. Vaporize. Vaporize. If you're the person making the water evaporate, you are vaporizing it. You are the vaporizer.
So there's vaporize.
But when you say, yeah, that's funny, vaporize, that's right. But when there's that E in front of it, and I'm sure Dr. Jill could explain why, we turn the A from when the E is in front, we turn the A in.
It's because of the word stress. I'm just saying that the pronunciation changes because of the word stress. Right. So we had a hand up earlier from David. David, would you like to try to make a sentence with evaporate?
Yes, maybe when I visit my father-in-law, they evaporated.
Oh no! I hope you didn't vaporize them.
Only similar to disappear or vanish. I think so.
Oh, you mean they didn't want to see you?
Maybe other example is when you wash your clothes. Maybe you had something in your chair and you wash and you maybe say that this thing evaporate.
Yes, the stain evaporated.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Especially if you were steaming the clothes, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Helen's got a hand up. What would you
Yes,
like?
I can make a sentence.
Okay.
I'm hating water while I am attending the VOA class, but I totally forgot. Water in the kettle evaporated totally. Thank you.
That's great. That's perfect.
Yeah, okay. I can say many of people or lovely people favorited due to COVID-19. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we don't usually use it with the people, though.
The people evaporated? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time we sometimes would use it with people, I mean, we did in a sense. In the video,
in a metaphorical sense.
The tourists evaporated, or the crowds that usually come. I will say, though, that when you're referring to a nuclear action, people are vaporized. People close to the bomb are vaporized. So that's one time we would use vaporized with people because it's so hot, they are vaporized. But let's not think about that.
No.
I don't think it's going to happen.
All right. Rosalinda, do you have a sentence?
Yes, of course. It says, if you feel sick, take your medicine to evaporate the pain.
Oh, yeah.
Is it correct if I say so?
Well, in a metaphorical sense there, you could.
It's correct, but it's not probably as common to use it that way. There's an idiom that is very related to evaporate. Can you guys hear my letters, my email?
Oh, it's okay.
There's an idiom, into thin air.
Okay.
Which is that's what we're saying. Say evaporated. You say, my money seemed to disappear into thin air. I could also say, my money seemed to evaporate.
Okay.
So there's sort of
Sounds
a,
good.
yeah, there's sort of a similarity.
Thank
Disappear
you.
into thin air. Certainly. Because air is a gas. Because air is a
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Let's do
Hi,
it.
Jill.
Go ahead.
Before go to the next new word, could I ask a question for Mr. Weaver? Yeah,
Sure.
in this video, there is a evaporated from a liquid to an, I forgot that. So why you use the article a and an in the, let's say, evaporated from liquid to like a gas or something like that?
So an is used before vowels or vowel sounds, and a is used otherwise. So
I think I do not make myself clear. I mean, why use the article a before liquid? That's my question.
a liquid.
Yeah.
I believe her question
from-
why we use articles before liquid and before
Liquid,
gas.
yes.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
you know, these are uncountable nouns. I believe this is the question.
Yes.
Yeah. However, I think the confusing part is that these forms of matter, right, liquid, gas, solid, can also be adjectives.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say something goes from liquid form
Mm-hmm.
into a gas, right? From liquid form. So in that case, it's an adjective. But it's if you use it as a noun, when you vaporize something, you change it from a liquid to a gas.
True. But we could also say a liquid form. So you could say from a liquid form to a gas form, but you can also say from liquid form to gas form.
And there we go.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newswords.
The government of Ethiopia recently declared a ceasefire in the Tigray area of the country. Stable.
Tigray's former leaders say they are now in control of the area's capital, Mekelle, after government forces withdrew from the city. 8 months of conflict has left hundreds of thousands of people facing severe hunger. Some Ethiopians are calling for a stable political system.
A stable political system is one that survives through crises without internal warfare.
Stable can also mean something that is not easily moved or thrown off balance.
Okay, so that's stable and it can be used with, that's an adjective, and it can be used with lots and lots of nouns. I'm going to throw out a sentence. I wanted to ride my bike, but its frame was not stable. So
A little wobbly, huh?
Yeah, a little wobbly, and I don't own a bike, actually. I made that up. But right, that would mean it's not solid. It's not, it's moving, or it's.
Or if you got on the bike, maybe you would not be very stable.
Yes. It can also mean, it's almost always, not always, but it's often interchangeable with the word insecure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's hear your sentences using stable. So stable is not changing, right? Okay, we have Alfredo.
Sorry, I was the microphone off. Yeah, I was saying that because the pandemic, the economic situation in the world hasn't been stable. Is that right, that phrase?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct. You can
Okay.
also, I believe you can use unstable.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
been unstable.
unstable,
Yep.
yes.
The world is
Very.
unstable because of the pandemic.
And
Does
next,
anyone know
Allah.
what the noun form is?
I was going to bring that up. Actually.
Stability, maybe.
Correct. Anybody
Okay.
want to do a sentence
I
again?
think I'd
Yes.
ask
Yeah.
Dr. Heidi. There's
Yeah.
stability.
Yeah. Last month, I fixed my car wheels to be more stability on the road. It's really, I fixed my wheel car to be more stability or
More stable.
More stable.
Yes, more stable. Yes, on the road.
But if you want to use
It's correct.
stability with that sentence, you could say, I fixed my car's wheels last week to provide them stability or to provide them with stability.
With the stability. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. It's a good sentence. Don't get in that car until those wheels are stable.
Yes, yes.
All right. David, what's your sentence?
Yes, maybe we can use for the things that the building has a stable foundations.
Excellent.
We hope. Yeah. There's some cases where that is not true. It's sad.
Yeah, the recent Florida example where the building collapsed, that was exactly because of it wasn't stable. And I think it will come up in the next word. We can actually, yes, we can connect.
Yeah. So
But we'll
actually, we could point out the opposite or the negative form for this word, for the noun form.
Oh, yeah.
Stability. Yeah.
So with the adjective, it's on, and with the noun, it's in.
Okay, Mahmoud has a hand up.
Yeah, yeah. You can say the situation it become more stable after more people taking the vaccine. Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
Great example. Your situation has become more stable with the increased vaccination rates.
And it's interesting, that's one of the words that we don't add ER to make the adjective form. I don't think you can say stabler, but maybe you can.
No, because it's two syllables.
I see. You know everything. Right.
All right, Rosalinda.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, of course. I like to say having a work-life balance helps you to keep a stable life.
Oh, a work-life balance gives you a stable life or gives you stability, you could say.
Okay.
Or
And I have a question. I really like to ask you something. For example, if I use stable or as an adjective, or in this case, unstable, it has to be with UN. And if I use it as a noun, it has to be with IN, instability. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Just don't ask why.
Yeah. Well, Jill knows, but she's keeping a secret right now.
Okay, just to be clear and avoid mistakes for the future.
So there's also another meaning of the word stable as a noun. Does anyone know what it is?
Yes, the horse stable.
Yes, exactly.
Can you write it down, please, just to see?
A horse.
Thank you.
So when you have horses, the building where you keep the horses is called a stable.
Okay.
Same spelling.
Okay, thanks.
They're not kept in the barn. They're in the stable.
Helen, have you been to a stable lately?
Yes, my sentence is had condition of patient is staying stable. Maybe.
Yep. Or remain stable. Yep.
Yeah, so in medical terminology, when a patient is stable, then they're good. They're not, their condition is not changing for the worse, right?
Yes.
I think there's a different levels. I think there's critical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Critical is maybe it's changing, could be getting worse, hopefully getting better, but stable is where there's no change. Yeah. Oh, how about the psychological meaning of stable?
Oh, um,
We could ask Maria about that.
yes.
She's our psychologist expert
Maria?
here. Could you give us a sentence where it's used in a psychological sense?
Well, I try. When the patient is unstable, unstable, we need to think to give the patient medication because or therapy because the patient, he or her, has problem, mental problems. Then, well, in psychological terms or psychiatric terms, stability is stable. A person stable person is a good, very good thing. A person, normal person, we think the person is normal, and we wish all of us can be stable.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think that this pandemic really now affected many persons, and many persons lose the stability. The becoming unstable caused the pandemic, by the pandemic.
That's right.
Yes.
Very
Correct.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. And many
Some people became
are
homeless. Yes.
Yes, depression. Many people be depressed by the pandemic. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
So thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To you.
I really want to harness this opportunity to clear it. This thinking. For example, if I say I used to dance a lot, but it's difficult for me to keep stability. Is that correct, or it's better to say to keep the balance in my body? For example, is it possible to use stability in this case?
You could say, you know, I used to dance a lot, but now I have
difficulty.
Now I have difficulties. You could say staying stable, being stable. That's probably, you would probably use that form more than stability. But balance, I think, with dance or that kind of physical activity is probably more common.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good sentences and good thinking, everybody.
I'm still haven't yet understand exactly how to use stabilize and stable. And would you mind to explain more about that?
Stabilize is the most common verb form. So you would say the country stabilized its economy. The man stabilized his home. I didn't mean to say man or woman, whatever. But when you're talking about horses, you wouldn't say, you know, the rider stabilized his horse unless it was sort of during movement, like stopped his horse, or when you're putting them into the stable. I think it's common to say, I have to stable the horses. but I don't think
but that's a pretty rare use of it as a verb.
unless you're a horse rider. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
So
you're
but
putting
something.
the typical verb would be stabilize. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
A doctor might stabilize the patient by giving them aid, right? Or as Maria we would say, maybe giving medication to somebody who was mentally unstable. Right?
Yeah, I got it now. Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Voice of America's Newsworth.
The ancient city of Venice was built on water. Now, a flying boat aims to protect its historical buildings. Erosion.
The electric boat runs on hydrofoils or underwater wings, giving it the appearance of flying above the water. The designers say the technology reduces erosion to buildings caused by the waves from motorboats.
Erosion is the slow destruction of something by natural forces like wind, water, and ice.
Erosion is the process by which something is eroded or worn away.
So, Katie, you were saying there's some kind of hidden word in this one too.
There is. It's not written out in erosion, but there's a related word that I was surprised by. Because like evaporate, someone mentioned earlier that it's like the taking away of something. Erosion is also the taking away of something, but the root of the word means gnawing. Oh God, it's hard to say. Gnawing away. Jill's gonna write that down, but it's GNAWING, to gnaw away at something, which means this. You gnaw.
Right.
That's
so there's the word gnawing, and a little animal. A little animal gnaws.
A whole class of animals.
Kind of animal. Maybe you can find it in on a city street. Let's see if I can draw one here.
Or in a field.
Squirrel?
What's that?
This just looks more like a fish.
What's that?
Is it
a squirrel? Yeah,
Oh,
squirrels.
yeah.
Squirrels gnaw.
And what family of animals are squirrels in? The family of animals.
That's difficult.
This is here. Let me do some sound effects here.
Dr. Jill, you're talented.
She's an artist.
Wait a minute. Oh, I forgot the ears.
Painting.
That's the problem. It's the ears.
Do the ears.
Okay.
Squeak. So all those words come from the Latin for to gnaw away. Rodent, erosion, erode. And I wanted to connect it back to the discussion we had in Florida about the instability of a building. And in that case, water and salt air, all the elements that the building was exposed to, and probably some other problems too, but it eroded the building and it led to the collapse.
I had a question about the last word, erosion, eroding, maybe can be used in a relationship. For example, I can use in this example, your behavior is eroding our friendship.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a great way to use it.
Something can erode confidence.
Yep.
Yes.
Or belief.
Okay.
My belief eroded when I saw him sweep the dirt under the rug. My belief in him as a cleaner, something like that.
Yeah, so we have the verb form is erode and the noun form is erosion. And did you understand the video about what was going on with the boat? Any questions about that video? They were talking about the boat reducing erosion on the buildings. How could it do that?
So the boat doesn't actually, travel through the water. None of it is under the water. It's just above, flying above the water. And so it doesn't make big waves. It doesn't cause what's often called a wake, which is the waves that follow the boat as it cuts through the water. So the boat prevents, it can't repair the erosion that has already been done, but it prevents erosion because the force of the water is not constantly hitting these buildings. It helps keep the situation stable.
Alfredo, what would you like to add?
Yeah, I was going to say what Catherine said, but the more the waves hit the buildings, the more the erosion are creating, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And have you been to Venice or have you seen movies of Venice?
Yeah, I've been there. I was there in 2011.
And where's the water in relationship to the buildings in the city?
I didn't get you the question.
So where is the water in relation to the buildings? Maria, you're from Italy. You could tell us about it.
Yeah.
Yes, the building are, well, the building are building on the water, on the, I don't know how to say the yes, the foundation are on the water, in the water.
Yeah. So there are many canals between the buildings, right?
Yes.
The very
on the,
small
in the
bodies of
water.
water. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, so between the buildings, instead of roads, they have canals, waterways. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an island.
Well, for that in Venice, in Santa Lucia, I don't know how to say in English. Santa Lucia is the Venice, the old Venice. There is in cars, all in canals, and we you go to one side or another by the canals.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, so instead of roads and boats and cars, you've got canals and boats.
Canal,
Yeah.
or you go
That's how
to
they travel.
walking.
Right.
Yeah. So if if cars on our streets made waves, then that would erode our houses next to the street, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So does everyone want to try to do a sentence or two, a couple sentences that use evaporate, stable, and erosion? But you can use those words in any form that they come in.
With the climate change, the heat hurts the stable, natural environment. And for example, if in Arizona, maybe the heat make more desert. So this desert will erosion some mountain or some fields. So we need to do our effort to take a part, do something to protect our environment. Thank you.
Very
Okay.
good.
All right. So you have the desert is eroding the the fields, it's making the fields evaporate, right? Water.
Yep.
Water's evaporating in Arizona because of the climate change. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say something similar. I mean, I dream to relocate to another country for work, but my dreams evaporated because of the travel restrictions and vaccination requirements, let's say.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I feel eroded because I've been working so hard these days.
Yeah.
You could. I think it'd be better to say, I feel my health has eroded
Okay.
because I've been working so hard. I'm going to
Excellent.
the doctor because my health has eroded.
Yeah. Or my energy level has evaporated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it, Jill, please?
My
My energy.
my energy level has eroded, or my energy level has evaporated.
Okay, thank you so much to both of you.
All right. Well, we've gone over our time.
Oh,
We've always have
Yeah.
so much fun. we,
never want to leave.
we never notice the time flying by. Thank you. And would everybody like to join me in thanking Katie for sharing
Thank
her
you,
videos
Katie.
today?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.